nice of him to join us on this Monday. We know he's very, very busy. President Donald J. Trump joining us on the line. Mr. President, so nice of you to join us, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Or should I say buongiorno? Buongiorno. I learned that in Italy.
Mr. President, can I ask you about that? It looked like Macron did not shake your hand.
We had a great time, by the way. We had a great time, but we had great seats. It was tough to get good seats for the funeral, but I pulled some strings. Did you see Melania? She looked like an Italian woman with the veil and the black dress. She looked very authentically Italian. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Going to ask me about how incredible I look?
Well, why did you wear a blue suit? Everybody else was wearing a black suit, Mr. President. Why were you wearing a blue suit?
Because you don't get it. You don't get it, Brian.
I guess
Why did I wear a blue suit? Because it got me the press. It got me the global press. Did you see that?
Yes,
Everyone's looking over here, and I'm doing deals over here with China and Argentina and all those places. You're looking over here. I'm doing things over here. You guys still don't get it.
It looked like Macron did not shake your hand, and he kind of snubbed you, Mr. President. What happened?
No. Excuse me. I pulled my hand away. If you look at that video closely, I pulled my hand into to point, and that's what happened.
All right, understandable. What was that conversation like with Vladimir Zelensky? You guys sat down and
I didn't understand the word. His accent is very thick. I just went, and I just kept thinking about all the money Putin's going to give me. So that was my main thing.
Mr. President, I have to ask you about your approval ratings. They're now dipped below 40%, the worst and arguably in American history. What do you have to say to that, Mr. President?
Well, as you know, you've known me a long time. I don't go by approval ratings. I've never been that guy. I don't care about that. We're doing big things. I don't care. But, gas is down. Groceries, a word no one was saying until I became president. They're down. Everything's down. Everyone's down, which is wonderful.
All right, if you say so. I mean, I saw the gas prices across the country are up since day one you took office, but... No.
The gas prices are down. Eggs are down. Bacon's down.
They are.
Cheese whiz is down.
Wow.
Crackers are down.
The Dow is down. NASDAQ is down.
The NASDAQ is down. But we're back. Listen, Brian, this is what I say to all my friends. Charles Schwab, my good buddy, was in the White House the first day when everything went down. He made $2.9 billion. $2.9 billion. You got to have the money when the things hit the skid like this. Buy real estate. There's an old phrase. When there's blood on the streets, buy real estate. When the stock market is down, buy stock. Listen, you could probably afford Apple right now. Tim Apple told me to buy Apple.
Well, what happened to Elon Musk? I hear he's stepping down. Another one that's going down. He's stepping down. He's
got a contract. There's a thing with the United States government. You can only be a special employee for a very limited amount of time. So I think he's going to try to save Tesla, which is a shame because it's a great company and the left-wing radicals are just ruining it. The people who bought his cars now don't want it. It's so sad.
If you're just joining us, he's the 45th and 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
President for life. Did you see that this past week?
Yeah, are you serious?
We're going 2028.
What's up with that 2028 hat, Mr. President? Are you really going to stay in office forever?
I'm going to stay in office forever. We're going to win this next election. We have a bill on the Senate floor that'll make it impossible for women to vote. Married women won't be able to vote. And that's a big portion of the country.
Mr. President, I think a lot of women would be offended by that. You're saying women shouldn't be allowed to vote?
Women are lazy. Women are lazy.
Are they
really? Just want their men to take care of them. Wow. Don't worry, it's going to go through, and I'll win again.
Wow. So you're serious about running again in 2020? I would imagine J.D. Vance.
Absolutely. What else am I going to do? Well, I'm going to run.
That's true.
I'm doing a tremendous show. Have you seen the Oval Office since I've gotten in? We've got floor-to-ceiling paintings, and they're all gold. We have gold angels, little cherubs. They're called cherubs. No one talks about that. They're called cherubs.
What is up with the two American flagpoles that you're paying out of pocket in the front of the White House? Well, a lot of people.
100 feet tall. 100 feet tall. Because a lot of people don't know that's the White House and the President of the United States. So we're going to put a little flag on it.
A lot of
Put a
people,
little flag on
there's
it.
speculation that you're going to be taking those polls out when you do leave, if at all, and bring them to
Never
Mar-a-Lago.
leaving.
Is there any truth to that, Mr. President?
Never leaving. Never leaving. I'm never leaving.
You
And
really?
Don Jr. will step right in.
Oh, is that so? So Don, you think Don Jr. would be the guy, not Eric Trump? You think it's Don Jr.?
Are you kidding me, Eric? Are you kidding me? He can't find his way out of a paper bag. No, it's going to be Don Jr. He's going to get married next summer at a White House wedding. Write this down. White House wedding next summer, huge ratings. Then we'll go right into the midterms. We'll win because of this bill. And then when the time comes, Don Jr. will be the president.
I saw that you were traveling this morning with Saquon Barkley. Sometimes you travel with these NFL athletes, Mr. President. Can you tell me why you're doing that?
He needed a ride.
Is that what it is? He just needed a ride. Was he
I
hitchhiking?
just like saying his name, Saquon. Saquon. It's a great name. It's a great. The black people love me. They absolutely love me.
Do they? Why did 80% vote against you then, Mr. President?
Well, they're the stupid ones. They're the lazy ones.
Got it.
It's the smart ones.
Yeah. So
Ben
93.
Carson, surgeon, very smart. Ben Carson, very smart.
Why isn't he in here? Why isn't
Who's
he?
the other one? Stacey Dash
Who's the other
from
one?
Clueless. She voted for me.
Stacey Dash. Yeah. What happened to her? Why do you have so few black people in your administration, Mr. President?
Well, that's a great question. That's a really fantastic question because we've done so well with so many people. The Catholics, but the Catholic vote should have been much bigger. It should have been much bigger because what I've done for the Catholics is absolutely incredible. And the Pope, that's why we went to see him. We went to see the Pope because he was a good guy, hard worker, I prefer my religious leaders not wearing dresses. We're getting rid of trans popes, and I think I did very well on that.
Oh, Mr. President, what do you care if somebody's trans or not? Why does that bother you, Mr. President?
Because they go into the girls' locker room and they show their little tallywhackers to the ladies, and I think that's disgusting.
All right. Well, fair enough, Mr. President. Listen, I know you have a very busy week ahead of you. Anything?
Very busy. We're making deals, Brian. We are making deals. I've got countries begging me to make a deal. China keeps calling. I keep missing their call, unfortunately, because I'm so busy. But I know one of these times, when you shut your phone off, you don't get all your texts.
Right,
I think Xi's been trying to text me and work out a deal. I mean, listen, he's got to work out a deal. You guys
text each other?
Well, yeah, we text each other on Signal. It's great. I mean, Headset showed me that. What a great little system it is. But listen, I got the head of Walmart saying, sir, we have to make a deal with China because all the crap in our store is made in China. So we're going to have to work something out, unless you want to pay for wicker chairs at 10 times the usual cost.
Can I just ask, you say you still have faith in Pete Hegseth. Now there's new revelations that have been coming out with these Signal chats. When are you going to just say, all right, this guy's got to go, Mr. President?
Let me tell you something about Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth could take one of his 15 children and saw one in half on live television, and I will not fire him.
I really don't know what to say to that, Mr. President. I'm speechless. I hope he doesn't do that with a saw. Well, Mr. President.
I hope not either. That would be good.
That would be terrible, Mr. President. Well, Mr. President, before we let you go, I know you have a very busy week ahead of you.
So much busyness.
What would you like to say to the American people? A lot of American, with your approval rating down to 39%, there's a lot of Americans, maybe even some that have voted for you, that don't have a lot of faith in you, Mr. President. So what would you like to tell them before we let you go?
Well, I just want everyone to know the tariffs are working. We're bringing in billions of dollars. This is why the deficit is going down. This is why the economy is roaring back. And eventually, this will be like the 1870s, before we had income tax. I'm going to get rid of income taxes for rich people, and we're going to get to keep all of our money. And these wonderful, hardworking people, they're the ones who will pay the taxes.
All right. Well, Mr. President, very, very well said. There's a lot of people that are very worried, but very well said as always, Mr. President. If you could please put your friend John DiDomenico on the line, we'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hold on. Here's John. Hey, Brian.
John, you had me dying there when you said he could saw one of his children in half, and I would still
What
support him.
what does this guy need to do to get fired? I thought Trump was the guy who liked to fire people.
Oh my God, so funny, but yet so true. And even back in the day, right when he said I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they would still support me. So really,
Don't support me.
that's what's so amazing, John. You're so funny and so good at what you do, but I could actually picture Donald Trump saying some of these things. That's what makes it so scary.
That's what I try to do. Keep it like some portion of it has to be in the reality of what's going on.
And that's why you're so good at what you do. Give out those socials, my man. You are the best Trump impersonator, one of the funniest comics out there. You are the best. Give out that information.
If everybody just looks up the Johnny D Show on any of the platforms, that's JOHNNYD. You'll find me, the Johnny D Show. You'll see Trump and some of the other characters, and you'll see my smiling face.
I love it. I love it. And I know you're still working on an Elon Musk for us eventually one of these
Still
days.
working on it.
Fair enough.
He'll be gone by the time I perfect it. So.
I think you're probably right about that. John, I love you, man. You are the best. Keep up the great work. We will catch up with you soon, John. I love you, pal. All right. See ya. That's John DiDomenico, everybody. You've heard him on the Howard Stern Show. Best Trump impersonator around, and he's so funny, and it's so great having John on the show. He really is the best.